What's up, gang, guys? Brian here at 3TR, and welcome to another episode of People's Questions, episode 44. I actually got a lot of great questions from about 4 of you. So, again, thank you guys for sending me your questions. They help me out every episode, and let's get started. The first one comes from TranquilicoMan91, and actually, your question was also the same question as another viewer, another person, so I'm trying to combine them. So this question comes from both TranquilicoMan91 and Criticism Guy 2009, and you both want to know my thoughts on the Wii U. I'm not a fan of it. I think I've kind of outgrown Nintendo's running theme of trying to find innovative ways to games instead of just sticking with your random controller. I gave the Wii Remote a try, and I do still have a Wii. However, I really bought that just to play one particular game, and it was, and I still have it. The Wii has a bunch of other games which are definitely worth owning. But from what I've seen with the Wii, it's simply a tablet with buttons, and the whole innovation is now that you can actually turn off your TV and play it on your screen. So it's kind of like a portable device. Except this isn't a portable device. I'm not sure what the length of how far you have to be away from the console is, but they're trying to make it seem like this is the first portable console system that you can play on your TV and you can play on your tablet, and it's supposed to be innovative. And I'm just not a fan of the running gimmicks. It's clear that they're trying to get hardcore gamers back onto Nintendo, but their directions is just pointless in my opinion. Just go back to your standard controller. You don't have to try to find innovative ways to play a game. Just go back. Back in the 90s with the NES and the Super NES and the Nintendo 64 and the GameCube, those were for hardcore gamers. That was traditional gaming. But when they try to just revolutionize it and change up how you play games, it went to a whole new different audience that wasn't a fan of gaming, and I think that's where their focus will be for the future of Nintendo, in my opinion, which is a sad thing to see, but times change. Next question comes from Super Deadpool 4321, and you had 3 questions, and your first question was, am I ever going to do anime reviews? Sure. If you have any animes that you want me to review, comment them down below or in a future video, and when I do find the time, I'll definitely put up a review for it, because I do have to balance what I do here on 3TR with my job and typing up reviews for the paper, and then having to go see movies, and I have to make time to play games or do reviews. So it's kind of trying to find a time between work, typing up reviews, playing games, and then going to the movies, and there aren't many days like that. So if you do get like a popular anime that you want me to review, like say like Inuyasha or Yu Yu Hakusho or Dragon Ball Z or just any one of those, or if there's something you want to recommend, just comment down below and I'll let you know when I have time to watch a few episodes. I can do at least a decent review, just like I did with Death Note, which was a really great anime, by the way. And your next question was, what was I like back in high school? I wasn't like this how I am now. I was definitely a lot more of a quiet person. I did graduate in the top 1/4 of my class, which was a really good thing. But I was not much of a social person. I think throughout the 4 years that I was in high school, I think I had maybe like 3 friends that I would generally hang out with for that 4 years, and I wasn't much of a social person. I didn't go to any dances. I didn't date any girls. I damn sure did not go to prom. I didn't go to football games. I really wasn't into other activities. I was just focused on school and coming home and playing games. I'm not sure. I don't think that changed much when I got to college. I still was carrying that high school vibe, and I think I've kind of outgrown most of it. For say, I still am having a lot of trouble trying to talk to new people. I don't have a problem talking to you guys over the internet, but trying to actually meet people here in my community, and when I move, trying to talk to people in that community, it's definitely, in my opinion, still going to be a challenge, but hopefully I'll outgrow that sometime next year. And your last question was, what games did I like as a kid, but I don't like now? You're gonna call me stupid for saying this, but I was actually one of the few people that actually liked Shaq Fu for all the wrong reasons. I mean, I was a dumb kid at the time. Like, I did see the movie Kazam, and I love that movie. And then when I got older, I realized just how terrible that game and those movies were. So, Shaq Fu's one. But the main one that I just don't like to play anymore is Pokemon. I talked about this in my last episode of the People's Questions last Friday. Pokemon, in my opinion, needs to stop. It's outdone its course. It doesn't change, and I think the main reason I stopped playing it was those games are very addicting. Just ask anyone who sat down and played what they thought was 30 minutes and turned it into like 2 hours. The premise, these games generally do not change. You're still doing the same thing over and over again. They'll just add different Pokemon. I think recently they've made it so you play 2 Pokemon at one time, so that's supposed to add some sort of strategy to it, which I think is bullshit. But yeah, Pokemon. The last Pokemon game I played was Pokemon Crystal, and when I realized that these games had not changed from Pokemon Red to Crystal, then I knew that this was how it was going to be for the next games. And from what I've seen, I've been correct. So Pokemon's a game I just don't like to play anymore. The next question comes from Criticism Guy 2009, and I already answered your first question. So your second question that you wanted to answer was, what are my thoughts on the new animes of Samurai 7, Sword Art Online, and Hungry Joker? I hope I said that right. I will tell you this: I was not able to get a copy of Hungry Joker, and I couldn't really find one to read. But I did happen to catch a couple episodes of Samurai 7 in Sword Art Online. Samurai 7, I think it was a pretty decent premise. I definitely like the story. The characters are very well written. Some of them are a little bit over the top, and you can expect that with some Japanese animes. But I really enjoyed Sword Art Online. It's kind of reminiscent of The Matrix if it was done with different online RPGs. Like going to other games, and if you die in the game, you die in real life. So it definitely has that Matrix vibe to it, but with different games and having to rescue people. I definitely like that idea. That would be like a gamer's dream or nightmare, depending on what game you're playing. Like, I'm sure many of us would want to like pop on a helmet and play as Kratos in God of War and be able to just be a total badass, or go into Mortal Kombat and just actually personally fight some of your favorite characters. So I definitely like the idea of it. I just wish it was a little bit more mature. I mean, I know it's an anime, but they definitely could take some liberties and try to step outside a certain comfort zone. But that's just my personal opinion. But it's definitely a solid anime. And out of the 3 you mentioned, I definitely liked Sword Art Online. And the last 2 questions come from Zaniac, and he had like a really long one, so I'm going to try to cut it into 2 parts. And your first question was, do I think Nintendo will eventually end up like Sega, in which it's no longer making consoles and then is creating games that are not restricted by the property hardware? So do I think a day will come where we will see a Mario game on PlayStation or Xbox? No. Nintendo is too much of a monopoly company. That company has been around long before Sony and Microsoft even started their consoles, and it's still going strong now because it's focusing towards an audience that the PlayStation and the Xbox don't target to. The PlayStation and the Xbox are definitely the defining hardwares for hardcore gamers like probably you and me, and that's probably not going to change for the next gen. But for Nintendo, that audience that doesn't play games is much larger than the hardcore gamers, but it just doesn't give as much feedback as the hardcore gamers do. So no, I'm sure Nintendo will be around for a while, probably long after Sony and Microsoft fade, which I doubt will happen anytime soon. And your next question, which I may have answered accidentally, do I think it'll happen by the time the upcoming generations of the Wii U, PlayStation 4, and Xbox 20 cycle ends? Again, no. Nintendo is the iconic gaming company. It's been around longer since the other two. It survived through past Atari, even though I believe Atari may have been the longest running console. I may be wrong on that. But no, there's just too much there's too much. This isn't really a word. There's too much. Nintendo has too much of a major reputation throughout the entire history of gaming to simply stop making consoles. You need a Nintendo because there are always going to be new kids coming in and they're going to grow up, and regardless of what console you guys play, no matter what point of gaming that you start, everyone's going to experience Nintendo in one way or another. That's the same with me. I'm sure that's the same for all of you out there. So no, I don't think Nintendo is going to stop anytime soon. It'll be around for decades, maybe even long after all of us are gone. And with that, that is all the questions I got for this episode of the People's Questions. If you have any more that you want me to answer in future shows, please comment them down below. And remember, guys, next Friday will be December 7th, so I will be doing the card contests again, and these questions are going to be significantly harder. They're not going to be multi-answered questions. So again, if you like this video, please like, comment down below, and subscribe to keep track of me, my future movie, game, and People's Questions episodes. And like always, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.